This once busy highway now lies empty. There used to be more than 1.5 million border crossings here annually. That stopped last November when the border with Russia was closed. Since then, Finland has continued to work on a $440 million scheme to secure its eastern frontier. It comes amid accusations Russia was ushering people to the border, weaponising immigration. Most were young men fleeing instability in places like Somalia, Syria and Yemen. It's claimed Russia would help them get from airports to the border, with Finland their entry point to the EU. Finnish border guard figures show fewer than 100 asylum applicants on the Russian border in the first half of 2023. That leapt to 522 in a single week in November. The border was officially shut soon after, and only 37 people are known to have made it across since, most on foot through the woods in the Finnish wilderness.
On the short term, situation is steady and stable, but we know that risk levels are quite high, and Russian Federation have ability to conduct that kind of orchestrated immigration operation again, and that's why we need to maintain high preparedness and be ready to do efficient countermeasures on the eastern border as well as sea areas.
The accusation has been denied by Russian authorities, but we were shown classified photos of men in Russian military uniform providing immigrants with bikes for transport and ushering several hundred to the border fence. As the eastern edge of the EU, refugee charities are concerned about the individuals now unable to use the eastern border to seek refuge and the legality of the border closure.
There are people in real need of asylum, so of course the fact that these people and their human right to seek asylum should be always assessed on individual basis, and this type of a law, which is a pushback law, in practice doesn't recognize this right, so nobody would then be able to leave the asylum application as their fundamental human rights and international conventions dictate.
The Finnish government has said the new Border Security Act is about safeguarding Finland's national security and sovereignty, and that they are seeking EU-level solutions to combat instrumentalised migration. Near all of the border crossing points, security is tight. Within minutes of starting to film here, the border guard arrived to find out what we were doing and to check our paperwork. We're 1.5 kilometres from the border, but this is as close as we're allowed to get. The border zone is closed to all but essential personnel. Those that live there have to have a special permit to enter. It's the first time the border has been closed since the 1940s, and as things stand, it's closed indefinitely. At this border guard museum, there are reminders of the conflicts between the two nations. The invasion of Ukraine has sparked comparisons with the Soviet invasion here in 1939. Finland joined NATO in April, and polling now finds that 3/4 of Finns have a negative view of their eastern neighbour. Dual Russian-Finnish citizens say they feel like collateral damage, caught up in the worsening situation between their countries, making travel between the two difficult and expensive.
In my opinion, the real security happens when people can negotiate about things. When borders and doors are closed and no one is discussing about anything, this is a very dangerous situation in fact.
I feel like I'm now in prison. We decided with my wife that we will find another country for living because of this closure, because the point is that if Finnish government made this once and don't have any dialogue with such people like we, that in future it can be again same thing.
Many Finns we spoke to believe Russia is happy the border is closed, as it limits exit routes for those fleeing conscription. But the Kremlin has said the closure was hasty and reflects Finland's anti-Russian stance. For now, the towns here are quiet, the roads are empty, and the border remains shut. John Bevir, CNA, South East Finland.